Women are just, they're so like annoying and they nitpick and they frustrate us. They push men's buttons. Well, today we're gonna talk about how to deal with that. This is such a personal issue for me. And so I ended up spending a year writing and creating my animated short film, which was basically me trying to visualize that battle that happens between the man and the woman in the form of animation and trying to get that message across. And in that process, I learned a lot. And today I'm going to watch the short film and explain my thought process and what is the intention behind the short film. So let's start watching. Why are you sneaking up on her like that, bro? That's creepy. Don't ever do that. Yikes. Oh my goodness. So those are actually my wife and I did the voice acting for that. She had to travel specifically just to record that session. Very romantic. And... all right. This first part of the short film is just to symbolize when everything is going great and you guys are getting along perfectly, the world seems like it couldn't get any better. And then that's usually when problems start happening. It usually just shows up out of nowhere and it seems to be very left field. We're always blindsided by it. We're always caught off guard. The arguments usually don't go well because it just comes out of nowhere and we're caught off guard. So this part of the short film is symbolizing how great everything is going. The world is perfect. It's bright. It's sunny. And they're just having a great time. She's painting. He's joking with her. And then something creeps up on them. Things are just starting to get really dark. And he notices something. Look at her face. He sees that she has some kind of infection on her face. He pokes it. He's trying to help her out. He's curious. He's worried. He's looking at what's happening to her and he's trying to solve the problem. But the way he's trying to solve the problem is by touching it because he doesn't know what's going on. Like when someone has a cut and you try to figure out what's going on, we know now what to do if someone has a cut. You know, you get a piece of fabric, you put pressure on the wound, you try to stop the bleeding, you disinfect it, all of this. But we don't just like shove our fingers into someone's wound, right? Even if that's what you think helps, it's not what helps. So his approach to try and figure out and help her out actually makes it worse. And now you see the same thing is happening with her. After he touched her, he got the same thing on his face. She's also not sure how to deal with that. And she's also doing the same thing that he was doing to her. So now she's touching him because she's worried about him and because she wants to try to help him out. But again, she's causing the same problem that he was causing to her, unknowingly and unintentionally. This is really very important. We can just see how they can start hurting each other without intending to. And then we'll start to see how things escalate when that happens. And it sort of becomes personal at some point. So he grabs her. The infection is spreading to him. It's spreading to her. And now it's just aggression for the sake of aggression. Right? And they're just kind of battling it out. It just spreads. And if you look at her eyes, the person changes entirely. And you don't see what's happening in front of you. You don't see the person for who they are. You don't even realize at some point that this is the person I love. This is my partner. is just anger and its emotions. She gets up. And then they bring the big guns. So now there's actually weapons. Now they're in for the kill. This is just a war at this point. So they're just fighting each other. Everyone is shooting their shot. Everyone is saying the things they want to say. At this point, they don't even know why they started fighting to begin with. You know, one thing leads to another, and we're just hurting each other at this point. Hurtful words. There's pain on both sides, and in that state of mind, you don't even realize what you're doing. And even if you do, even if there's a little glimmer inside of you, like a voice that's telling you to stop, that the rage is just too much. They're backing you into a corner, they're saying things that you can't respond to, or they're bringing things up, and then you're just looking for whatever tools you have at your disposal to get back at them. Whatever hurtful word, whatever memory you can pull up that counters what they said, like, no, you did that first, or remember when you did that, or you're grasping at straws so that you don't lose this fight. Alright, so here what happens is he accidentally cuts something with his spear. Let's look at what that is. You hear a scream in the background. So we're going through their memories of backwards in their memories where we're seeing bad moments they've had, and then it's kind of fading into the good moments that they've had, and they're sort of remembering that at this point. So they realize they were never actually fighting each other because they hated each other or the other person was actually bad. There was something that got between them, and we can see it from this frame. It's like there's literally something between them. It's spreading its infection in their world, and that is the infection that got to them. But because they weren't focusing on the source of the problem, they were blaming each other for the infection. If we go back to the beginning of the film, each one thought the other person started the infection. But the truth was, there was a problem that infected someone, and because it was handled poorly, the infection spread. And now they started blaming each other, and when the infection spread too much, it was just fighting for their lives at that point. But now, when they focused on the issue and not on blaming the other person, they could see clearly, and now they're remembering their good times. They're remembering that they actually love each other, and they're not trying to hurt each other, and they're trying to save it at this point. But sometimes the problem seems too powerful, or the anger has too much of a hold on you. And even if you try, hard as you may, it's sometimes not enough. So, if you get to that point in the argument, you storm out or you say things that are hurtful beyond repair, then these might be mistakes that cost you a good relationship. Let's just finish up the end of this short film. Alright. So he woke up. We see the battle scars, right? He was having a dream. This is real life now. Now we recognize these infectious tentacles. It's trying to get to them again, but they know what's up. They're old, they're wise. They've been through this. It's the same environment, but they're not letting it affect them anymore because they know how to deal with this at this point. There we go. They complete each other. And they have a strategy. They have a battle strategy. They're not fighting each other anymore. They know exactly where the pain points are in what they need to overcome it. This is the short film, Your Battle of Mind. So, obviously, relationships can be difficult. And the nature of the feminine and masculine interactions or arguments unfolds in a pattern that we all recognize. However, this challenge, although not natural to navigate, it can be learned, and it's a puzzle that can be solved. If you want to watch the whole short film, I'm going to leave a link for it in the video description, and you can watch it. And now with that context in mind, you might be able to enjoy the short film a little bit more. And if you have any questions, I mean, my wife and I have been through a lot of trouble throughout our relationship. It's by no means perfect. We have come a long way from where we began, and I feel like we learned a lot through that. She taught me a lot, and our interactions taught me a lot. And so if anyone has a question or a problem, ask it. And I'm sure there's a lot of people that have experiences relatable to yours that can help out. And if I can help out, please let me know. All right. Thank you for watching The Social Cop.